How does a young married couple spend a weekend in Vietnam? Hi everyone, I'm Lynn. Welcome back to another vlog. Today is the weekend, and I thought it would be nice to show you what a typical Saturday looks like for my husband and me here in Vietnam. So today, come spend a quiet weekend with us. I finally get out of bed at around 9 in the morning. That's definitely later than usual. When I step outside, the first thing I notice is the sky. Dark clouds have already covered most of it. It looks like it's going to rain soon, but honestly, I love weather like this. Summer in northern Vietnam can be incredibly hot, so cloudy mornings always feel like a little gift. The air is cooler. The wind feels softer. Everything seems calmer. Before doing anything else, I walk out to check on the plants. This little passion fruit vine has been growing so well lately. There are tiny fruits everywhere now. I'm already looking forward to the day I can finally harvest them. Every morning, I somehow end up standing here for a minute or two, just looking around. It's become a small habit without me even realizing it. Right next to the garden is the little playground in front of our house. Whenever I look at it, I can't help imagining what it would be like if one day we had a child running around out there. We've been married for a few years now, but it's still just the two of us. I'm not in a hurry, but sometimes I quietly picture what our future might look like, and it always makes me smile. After that little daydream, it's time to head back inside. The first thing I do every weekend is clean the bathroom. I just like making sure everything feels fresh before we head out. For some reason, having a clean bathroom always makes the whole house feel cleaner. I also have a funny little habit. Instead of throwing away old toothbrushes, I keep them for cleaning. They're perfect for getting into all those tiny corners that bigger brushes can't reach. It's simple, but it works surprisingly well. Once everything looks clean again, I already feel a little lighter. Maybe it's just me. But a tidy house always helps clear my mind too. Next comes the laundry. Since there are only two of us, I usually wash clothes almost every day instead of waiting until there's a huge pile. It's much easier that way. Before leaving, I also wash the dishes from last night. Neither of us felt like doing them before bed. Now everything is finally done, and we're ready to head out. Today's plan is simple. We're going to visit my parents. They live about 10 kilometers away, so it's close enough that we visit almost every weekend. By the time we're ready to leave, it's almost lunchtime. The roads are definitely busier than they usually are. I guess weekends make everyone want to get out of the house. Families are going shopping. Groups of friends are meeting for coffee. And everywhere you look, there are people enjoying their day off. I really like this kind of atmosphere. This week, the weather is so nice that we decide to ride the motorbike instead of taking the car. I've always loved sitting on the back of the motorbike, wrapping my arms around my husband while we ride through quiet streets. As we ride through the streets, I start thinking about how much our lives have changed over the past few years. We used to live much closer to the center of Hanoi. Life there was exciting, but after moving here, I realized how much I enjoy a slower lifestyle. Before heading to my parents' house, we decide to grab lunch. In the end, my husband suggests a small restaurant near the university where he studied years ago. It's one of those simple local places that mostly serve students. Nothing fancy. You can get a bowl of noodles, pho, or fried rice here for around $1. Today we both order beef fried rice with pickled mustard greens. Watching the cook prepare everything is surprisingly satisfying. The rice has already been cooked earlier, so he starts by heating it up in a large wok. Then he adds slices of beef and quickly stirs everything together. His hands move so fast that it's obvious he's done this thousands of times. After that comes my favorite part, the pickled mustard greens. They're slightly sour, a little salty, and somehow they make fried rice taste so much better. A few more quick tosses over the high heat, and lunch is ready. This entire plate costs just a little over $1. It even comes with a bowl of soup. Honestly, the portion is huge. I add a little chili sauce, mix everything together, and start eating. It's simple, nothing fancy. Sometimes people ask me what everyday food in Vietnam is like. For me, it's meals like this, not expensive restaurants, not fancy dishes. Just simple food that people eat every day. By the time we're finished, I'm already full after eating only about half my plate. My husband, of course, finishes everything. As we leave the restaurant, we pass by the university where my husband used to study. He points toward one of the buildings and starts telling me stories from his student days. I think I've heard some of these stories before. The sky is still covered with dark clouds. It looks even darker than it did this morning. Far off in the distance, you can just make out the Ba Vai Mountains. That's where I grew up. After about 20 minutes on the road, we finally arrive at my parents' house. They've been running this little coffee shop from home for about 5 years now. It's nothing fancy. Just a small neighborhood cafe where people stop by for a cup of coffee, chat with friends, or take a break during the day. Most of the drinks here cost less than $1. The prices are low, but that's always been my parents' way. They'd rather have familiar customers coming back every day than charge a little more. The coffee shop doesn't make them rich, but it gives them a comfortable life, and I think that's enough. As soon as I walk in, my mom is already making an iced milk coffee for a customer. Vietnamese coffee has a really strong aroma. Even before she finishes making it, you can already smell it filling the room. My younger brother is here too. He's the complete opposite of me when it comes to hobbies. He absolutely loves animals. This little dog follows him everywhere, and somehow, the dog listens to him much better than it listens to anyone else. He also built this aquarium himself. I honestly don't know how he has the patience for things like that. It takes a lot of time to put everything together and keep it looking nice. If it were me, I'd probably give up after the first day. While everyone is busy talking, I notice a few green fruits lying on the ground outside. They're called dracontomlin. They fall from the tree every summer. They are incredibly sour, honestly. Just looking at them makes my mouth water. I pick up a few and bring them inside. Before long, everyone is sitting together, eating them and chatting. No one is doing anything special. We're just talking about little things that happened during the week. Who's been busy, who's traveling, what we're having for dinner later. Simple conversations like these used to feel completely ordinary, but the older I get, the more I realize they're actually some of the most valuable moments in life. When I was younger, I always wanted to grow up as quickly as possible. Now, sometimes I wish time would slow down a little. I don't think we truly appreciate moments like these until they become memories. After spending some time with my parents, we get ready to leave again. This time, we're going to visit my grandparents. Just as we pull out of the gate, the rain finally starts. My husband pulls over so we can put on our raincoats. I don't know why, but I've never liked wearing raincoats. I always feel a little trapped inside them. Maybe it's just me. Before arriving at my grandparents' house, we stop by a small store. Tomorrow, my grandfather is having surgery. So today we want to stop by, spend some time with him, and bring a few things he asked us to buy. My grandfather asked us to buy a few things for him before he goes into the hospital. We also pick up a small gift for him, nothing expensive. Just something to let him know we're thinking about him. By the time we've finished shopping, we've spent about $30 altogether. Now, let's go see Grandpa. My grandparents live in a quiet little neighborhood not far from my parents' house. Whenever I come back here, it feels like time slows down. I spent a lot of my childhood in this house. Back then, my parents often worked late into the night, so my grandparents took care of me most of the time. Some of my happiest memories were made right here. Even now, walking through this gate still feels exactly the same. The first thing I do is bring the things we bought for Grandpa inside. Tomorrow is an important day for him. Before his surgery, our family lights incense together. It's something many families in Vietnam do before an important event. Whether it's a wedding, an exam, a long journey, or a surgery like this. Lighting incense is our quiet way of praying for good health, good luck, and peace of mind. It doesn't make us worry any less, but somehow, it helps us feel a little calmer. Thankfully, Grandpa looks relaxed today.
Không chụp đâu, ông cứ yên tâm, cháu chỉ ấy thôi.
Weekends are usually when the whole family gathers here. Before long, my uncles, aunts, and cousins start arriving one by one. The house slowly becomes louder. People are talking over each other. It's a little noisy, but it's the kind of noise I love. Someone brings out a basket of crispy rice crackers for everyone to snack on. They are light, crunchy, and slightly nutty. They are the kind of snack that's impossible to stop eating once you start. As we're sitting together, Grandpa suddenly calls me into the kitchen. I just finished cooking the fish, he says. You have to try it. My grandpa makes one of the best braised fish dishes I've ever eaten. The fish has been slowly cooked for hours until it's incredibly tender.
Thử đi để cháu quay. Cái gì ạ? KCS cái gì ạ?
The sauce is rich, slightly sweet, a little salty, and full of flavor. The meat is so soft that it almost melts in your mouth. With a bowl of hot steamed rice. It's honestly one of my favorite comfort meals. After one bite, I already know I'm going to ask Grandpa if I can take some home. A little later, my uncle brings out a few dried squid. In Vietnam, dried squid is a really popular snack to enjoy with a cold beer. The squid is cleaned, flattened, and dried naturally before it's grilled over charcoal. It sounds simple, but the smell is incredible.
Ui dồi ơi, chị ơi, có một con linh nó quánh mình nó mất con này chị. Chẳng đáng định bảo một gì Thu.
My grandparents still have a traditional wood-burning stove. Even though they also have a gas stove now, they still use this one from time to time, especially for boiling water or cooking certain dishes. There's already hot charcoal inside. so my uncle places the dried squid directly over the fire. Within seconds, the squid begins to curl up. The smell slowly fills the whole kitchen.
Trong này là cá.
Đấy thì chú cho cái ăn được. Có mùi than đấy. Ngon chưa?
Everyone immediately gathers around. No one wants to miss the first piece. Fresh off the charcoal is definitely the best way to eat it. Someone opens a few cans of beer. The adults sit together, talking about work, family, and old stories they've probably told 100 times before. And somehow, nobody ever gets tired of hearing them.
Cảm ơn ông bà. Nghiêng cốc ra.
Anh có ngồi đây.
Hả?
Moments like this remind me how lucky I am. Not because everything in life is perfect, but because I have people I can always come home to. People who make an ordinary Saturday feel like something worth remembering. Before we know it, the afternoon has quietly slipped away. The rain has finally stopped. I think it's time for us to head home. By the time we leave my grandparents' house, the air feels fresh, and everything outside seems quieter than it was this morning. I always enjoy riding home after it rains. The streets feel calmer, the trees look greener. Even the sky somehow feels softer. It's one of those little things that makes me appreciate living here when we get home. I remember there's a jar of fruit and honey that I made a while ago. I've been waiting for the right day to open it. Today feels perfect. I pour a little into a glass, add some cold water and ice, and give it a quick stir. It's sweet, refreshing, and has a light fruity flavor. Exactly what I want after spending the whole day outside. I take my drink out to the balcony. This has become one of my favorite spots in the house. There are plants everywhere, and after the rain they all look so fresh. Moments like this don't seem very exciting. They're quiet, they're ordinary. And maybe that's exactly why I love them. People often think happiness has to come from something big, a dream vacation, a new house, a huge achievement. But lately, I've been realizing that some of the happiest moments in my life are much smaller than that. A slow morning, a simple lunch, laughing with my family, watching my grandpa cook, riding home in the rain with my husband, sitting here with a cold drink while the world slowly winds down. Those little moments are enough. I feel incredibly grateful that I get to call this my everyday life. Thank you so much for spending your weekend with us. I hope this little vlog gave you a glimpse of what an ordinary weekend looks like here in Vietnam. If you enjoyed coming along, I'd love to have you back for another day with us. Take care. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.